Okay, let's dive into this. When you hear the word Sphinx, your mind might immediately jump to, ancient riddles or classic Greek myths. But today we're going on an immersive journey to uncover the true original face of this magnificent creature. Welcome to our latest explainer. We're going to strip away centuries of global storytelling to reveal the Sphinx's genuine, absolutely awe-inspiring roots, which are deeply, deeply embedded in the mythology of ancient Egypt.
So, who is the Sphinx, really? It's a fantastic question, mostly because its creature has left a massive global footprint. I mean, we've all heard the famous Greek story of Oedipus and the deadly riddle of the Sphinx, right? But to truly understand this icon, we have to look past all those dramatic Greek retellings. We need to pivot our narrative away from the tragedy of Thebes and head directly back to the ancient sands of Egypt. That's where the Sphinx was born. Not as some terrifying monster, but as something entirely different and incredibly sacred in ancient Egyptian cosmology.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between the two most famous versions of this creature. Over on the right, you've got the Greek Sphinx, winged, female, treacherous, and basically a merciless monster that literally devours anyone who fails her test. But look over on the left at the original Egyptian Sphinx, wingless, benevolent, typically male, often bearing the face of a pharaoh, and standing proud as a divine guardian. It is a total paradigm shift. We're moving from a malevolent beast to a majestic, highly revered protector that played a absolutely crucial role in Egyptian mythology.
Section 1. The Guardian Power of Egypt. Redefining the creature.
Okay, it's time to totally redefine how we look at this creature. We need to completely erase the idea of a mythic monster lurking on a rock just to trick random travelers. That whole misunderstanding, it actually stems from a simple translation error. As historian Susan Wise Bauer points out, the very word sphinx is really just a Greek corruption. The ancient Egyptians originally called it She-Sepank, which translates to living image. And we're not just talking about any image. This was an image carved out of living rock, meaning rock that was still organically connected to the earth itself. This living stone motif, that's going to be our main thematic anchor for this explainer. In Egyptian mythology, these statues were literally seen as living, breathing embodiments of protective power, forever tethered to the bedrock of their world. Right, so what did this living image actually look like? Well, meet the androsphinx. The traditional Egyptian sphinx was a wingless creature featuring the body of a lion and the head of a man. But it wasn't just any guy off the street. These monuments almost always bore the precise likeness of a ruling pharaoh. And remember, in Egyptian mythology, the pharaoh wasn't just a political king. He was viewed as a literal god on earth. He was the vital intermediary between the mortal realm and the divine cosmos. So the androsphinx served as a literal physical manifestation of the pharaoh's immense, benevolent protective power. It brilliantly combines supreme human intelligence with the unparalleled cosmic ferocity of a lion.
Section 2. Pharaohs and Sun Gods. The Divine Connection. Let's move to and see how this builds over time. You see, these monuments weren't just decorative statues or political vanity projects. No way. They were deeply, inextricably woven into the religious fabric of ancient Egypt, linking these stone guardians directly to the ultimate source of life, the sun gods. The Sphinx isn't just a single snapshot in time, it's a continuous, evolving presence in their mythology. Around 2600 BC, we see the creation of the Great Sphinx of Giza, which most experts believe bears the face of Pharaoh Khafra. Then jump forward a bit to 1400 BC, and we have Pharaoh Thutmose IV erecting the famous dream stele right between its massive paws, purposefully re-establishing its divine importance. Even centuries later, around the 1st century AD, you have the Roman Emperor Claudius depicting himself as a grinning sphinx at Dendera. It's incredible. It just goes to show how enduring this symbol of divine, solar power was, remaining a vital, central part of spiritual life for thousands of years. And speaking of that 1400 BC dream stele, the inscription on it is fascinating. It connects the Great Sphinx directly to three major aspects of the local sun deity, Khepera, Re, and Atum. In Egyptian mythology, this carries massive cosmic weight. The Sphinx was essentially acting as an earthly guardian of the sun god's domain, protecting the spiritual horizon where the sun rose and set every single day. Furthermore, many pharaohs used that powerful lion body to channel their relationship with Sekhmet, the fierce lioness goddess of war, healing, and solar fire. So the Sphinx was literally the ultimate intersection of mortal royalty and cosmic solar power, standing as a divine sentinel for the gods themselves.
But wait, the mythological story definitely doesn't end with lions of men. Let's broaden our understanding a bit with the criosphinx. This is a majestic, ram-headed guardian.
Now, instead of representing the pharaoh directly, the ram was the specific, chosen symbol of Amun, a highly revered creator god. Down in the ancient city of Thebes, where Amun's cult was at its absolute peak, the Egyptians built these awe-inspiring avenues lined with literally 900 of these criosphinxes. I mean, just imagine walking down that path. Their sole mythological purpose was to hold back the forces of chaos and serve as an impenetrable spiritual barrier protecting the sacred temples from evil. It is just a stunning display of supernatural defense. Section 3. Greek and Global Sphinxes, an exported obsession. A mythological symbol this incredibly potent just couldn't be contained to the Nile Valley forever. What started as an explicitly Egyptian guardian soon rippled across the entire globe, sparking what was basically an exported obsession. Just look at how widely this idea spread like wildfire. The Greeks got a hold of it and turned it into the deadly female monster of the Oedipus myth. Over in South and Southeast Asia, the concept morphed into human lion variations, like the Purasmirga and the Narissima, which actually still serve as temple guardians there today. Much later, during the European Renaissance, the Sphinx was revived, but this time as purely decorative art in fancy palace gardens. It even found its way into the symbolism of Freemasonry, representing hidden mysteries and guarded knowledge. It really goes to show how humanity took this profound, original concept from Egyptian mythology and just constantly reshaped it to fit incredibly diverse global traditions.
Section 4. Legacy of the Living Stone. Returning to the sands of Giza. So the crucial point is this. Despite all these massive global transformations and artistic revivals, the true, enduring mythological power of the Sphinx is always going to lie in its original sandy homeland. The Great Sphinx of Egypt remains humanity's oldest continuous emblem of power. I mean, think about it. It has quietly watched empires rise and fall for over 4.5 millennia. But it's way more than just an architectural marvel. It stands as the ultimate testament to ancient Egyptian mythology. It is the perfect physical synthesis of divine solar energy, royal authority, and absolute spiritual protection, carved straight from the living earth. And that matters today because it reminds us of humanity's earliest, most monumental attempts to physically connect with the divine. As we wrap up our explainer today, I really want to leave you with this final, lingering thought. What other ancient secrets is Egypt's living stone still guarding? If a single monument can hold such profound mythological depth, literally connecting mortal pharaohs to the cosmos while simultaneously inspiring thousands of years of global legend, well, what else lies waiting to be discovered beneath those ancient sands? Keep questioning, keep learning, and hey, thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey today.